What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Chin here again today from Nothing But Facts. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you guys have been watching our series that we've been putting together. We're talking about the AP preseason top 25 teams, doing a season prediction on all of the teams. And we've done a whole list. We've done Indiana, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Alabama, LSU, Texas Tech. And now today we do the USC Trojans, a team that needs to have a big year. Lincoln Riley needs to have a big year in 2026. Let's jump right into this schedule. First game of the season, their first four games, I think, are going to be wins. San Jose State, Fresno State, Louisiana, and on the road at my alma mater, Rutgers. Now, going across the country to Big Ten, going across the country and starting your season, Big Ten play on the East Coast is not easy. And I can tell you for a fact that it is going to be jumping inside of High Point Solution Stadium or SHI Stadium, whatever they changed the name to. But in any case, I think Rutgers makes that game a little nasty at first, but I like USC to win that game. They start the season off 4-0. Then they have Oregon and Washington both coming to town. These are two teams. In Oregon, we broke down Oregon's season schedule. We said, hey, this team is looking forward to make a national championship run. The roster, their quarterback, Dante Moore, the head coach, and Dan Lanning. Like, there's so many pieces pointing in the right direction for Oregon to make a run. And again, we have not really seen a signature win from Lincoln Riley. Everyone wants to tell me and point that Michigan game last year, that was their signature win. Like, no, you need to beat Oregon. You need to beat Ohio State. You need to beat one of these teams. I don't think they beat Oregon. I think Oregon walks in there and gets the win. I think Oregon wins. We're looking at 4-1. Then you have Washington a week after that. Washington is going to be a really good team with Damon Williams. Jed Fish is a really good coach. I like this. I like Washington in this game. But however, I think USC finds a way to get back, and I think USC wins that game. Then they go on the road to Penn State. This is a game where I think they lose. I think they lose on the road to Penn State. Penn State has a lot of moving pieces, new faces and moving pieces. Matt Campbell coming over from Iowa State, bringing a lot of those new faces. And just being quite frank, I don't think USC can go on a road in Happy Valley and get a win. It's tough sledding when you go up there in Happy Valley. It is a tough place to play. It's a hostile environment. I just don't see them going on the road and getting that W. I like Penn State. So now we're already looking at losses to Oregon and Penn State. Then you have a bye week after the Penn State game. You're going on the road against Wisconsin. I like USC in that game. Then you come back. Then you have another bye week. All right, you have a bye week before Wisconsin, and you have a bye week before Ohio State. But you play Ohio State and Indiana back-to-back weeks. I think Ohio State is going to come into LA and win this game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people think. But you're already looking at 3 losses: Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State. Then you go on the road against Indiana. They just won the national championship. I like Indiana in that game. You finish the season against Maryland and UCLA. Give me those wins. I just gave you an 8-4 record. Like, USC fans, I just said your season's going to start off 4-0. You're going to lose to Oregon, beat Washington, lose to Penn State, beat Wisconsin, lose 2 games, middle of the season, win 2 games to end the season. Like, I potentially 9-3. Potentially 9-3. But again, like, where do we see those three? Like, where do we see the 9-3? Is it the Oregon? Is it Ohio State? Is it Indiana? Like, where do we see, though? I think those are 3 losses right there: Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State. All right, let's talk about this roster. Nothing really pops out on this roster. Just being objective. I'm just objectively speaking. Okay, I'm objectively speaking. There's nothing really that pops out on this roster. Ethan Feaster is a true freshman. There's a lot of purple on here, so purple are true freshmen, and gold are transfers. So a lot of purple and gold. All right. Jaiden Maiava is a good quarterback. I think, I put him in that honorable mention list. But Wayman Jordan had a pretty decent year last year, 88 carries, 576 yards, 5 touchdowns. King Miller too as well. King Miller took the bulk load of carries when Wayman Jordan got hurt. Excuse me, guys. When Wayman Jordan got hurt. And I like King Miller. I think this guy is a do-it-all back. He showed that he can do it. And, they have guys on offense. But from a wow perspective, this roster doesn't wow me. It doesn't wow me. They brought in Terrell Anderson from NC State. He's going to be a part of that wide receiver room. One thing we could always say about Lincoln Riley is he has good receivers. He had it last year with Mekhi Lemon. Like, he had it previously with Jordan Addison, like Hollywood Brown. Like, the list goes on about the receivers that this guy produces. He produces good receivers. That's one thing I could say about Lincoln Riley. He gets guys. Terrell Anderson is definitely going to be a part of that mix. But I think a guy we should definitely be paying attention to is Tanuk Hines. I think this is going to be wide receiver 1 for USC. He came on a little bit late last year, had some big games. When you go watch that Oregon game, this guy flashed out I think where the receiving game is going, that is what Tanuk Hines' game is. He's a good receiver. He's only going to be a sophomore this year. I'm really excited for him to take that next step. On the defensive side, they have guys like Cameron Crawford. Cameron Crawford had 5.5 sacks last year. Edge rusher there. But again, like I said, this roster, it just doesn't wow me. It just doesn't wow me. It just does not wow me. Jontez Stevens coming in from Iowa State. I'm just objectively speaking. When we look at the lay of the land, when we look at the other teams in this field, this roster doesn't feel like a roster that could take that next step. And again, like I talked about, Jaiden Maiava. He is a good quarterback. Year 2.5 as a starter, coming in, trying to be the guy at USC, trying to just take this team, I think, to a 10-win season. I think that's a win, right? I've always said if you win 10 games in the SEC or the Big Ten, you are making the playoffs. Jaiden Maiava he's capable of that. He can scramble. He had 30 touchdowns last year, 6 rushing, 24 passing. The turnovers definitely are a thing that he's going to definitely pay attention to, but he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Big two. But there have been some things that I need to point out. Because over the last 2 years at USC, there's been a lot of questions about defense. And that's the same ghost that haunted Lincoln Riley when he was at Oklahoma. He hired Alex Grinch. That was a failure, right? Alex Grinch had no idea how to coach defense. I don't even know how he got hired. He's at Central Florida right now, okay? Alex Grinch destroyed his reputation. His reputation. It did. And they had DeAnton 2 years ago. Whatever happened with that, he ended up leaving to go to UCLA. And now they bring in Gary Patterson. And Gary Patterson was an analyst last year at Texas. And if you don't know about Gary Patterson, this guy, he's like the grandfather of college football, of one of the grandfathers. Like his TCU teams back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. If you don't know, like this guy is a dog. He defense is his specialty. That's all he's known. He was one of the first guys to run the 4-2-5, something that TCU, they take pride in. He ran that 4-2-5 defense. He was the one that sort of made that defense prominent. So, remember, there's some Texas connection there with Lincoln Riley and Gary Patterson, some sort of connection there, but he has to come in and do a good job. They need him. They need this defense to be in these games because, again, I don't feel impressed with this roster. I could be wrong. I don't think so. But a lot of this is all going to be laid on Lincoln Riley, y'all. It's a big year for him. It's a big year for Lincoln Riley. I think he's similarly in the same position that Hugh Freeze was at Auburn last year. If we don't see wins, if we don't see the type of wins that we need to see, I believe USC is going to make the switch from Lincoln Riley. I believe so. That bowl game, how they lost to TCU last year, was an embarrassment. It was a disaster how they ended their season last year. Okay? Like, this guy needs to have a big year in 2026. It's simple. I don't really know what else to say. They've had big games last year. They had Oregon come to town, right? Oregon came to town. They lost. This USC team, it's like we want to see more. We want to see more, but I don't know if this guy is the right guy leading the team. I don't know if Lincoln Riley's the right guy for where USC is at now in the Big Ten, when you have teams like Indiana, like Michigan, like Ohio State, like Washington, like Oregon. USC is not where they need to be. And I don't want to put it all on Lincoln Riley, but the onus of the blame is on Lincoln Riley. He's the head coach. So I stand on what I say. I don't really see this team exceeding 9-3. Like I don't see a 10-win season here. This roster, just compared to the other teams in the Big Ten, I don't think this roster has enough firepower. Just being quite frank, even with Michigan and with Ohio, like I said, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, like there's not enough firepower I see on this roster. There's playmakers. Wayman Jordan, King Miller, Tanuk Hines, Terrell Anderson coming in. They have a good quarterback in Jaiden Maiava. They have a new DC and Gary Patterson. But this is all going to lie on Lincoln Riley. He needs to have a big year. He is in the same boat Hugh Freeze was at last year. If Hugh Freeze, I said it, if Hugh Freeze did not have a big year, he was going to be gone. And you know who's the head coach at Auburn now? Alex Golesh. So you better pray if you're Lincoln Riley, these guys come out swinging, these guys come out fast. But should be an interesting year for USC. A team looking to just get back into national conversation, a lot of history, a lot of talent, but we'll see what happens. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep sharing. Love you guys. God bless. Peace.